there was no business side. I was just uploading beats to BeatStars. In 10, 20 years, it's going to still be there. And you're going to be like, what if?
What was your situation, man, like before you joined this program?
My situation was I was making beats. I didn't really understand music theory, how to structure beats, arrange beats, certain ways to key the drums and things like that. And the beats weren't selling. I didn't know how to sell the beats. So I was just kind of making a whole bunch of beats, but I didn't know what to do with them. And it was raw talent that wasn't fine tuned. So this program definitely helped with the actual music production, how to arrange certain tips to change velocities and things, add movement. So yeah, that definitely helped.
What about like the business side of things too?
It definitely, there was no business side. I didn't know, to be frank with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I didn't know what to do. I was just uploading beats to BeatStars. I wasn't really taking it fully serious.
Okay. Why do you think
then,
that was?
Because I was new to it. I didn't really know what I was doing. Mind you, this is something that I just started. I think it was like 2 years prior. And the first year it was just kind of off and on because I was an artist too. So
yeah,
I was rapping, doing things, and it was more like a B-side thing.
Okay. So before you joined this, like you were just barely even producing for a couple of years?
Barely. It was like a year. I started producing because there was a moment in my life where I had nothing that I thought I really wanted to say. You know how they say silence speaks more than actual words sometimes? And I was at a point where I was truly at peace with everything, but I still wanted to create.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I create without having to say anything?
Yeah. Gotcha.
And I happened to be over my friend's house. He happened to have just a MIDI keyboard just laying there. And I was like, it just clicked. I was like, hey, can I use that? And he was like, yeah, I don't use it. I don't make beats, anything. So I took it back. Same guy that does my videos. I took it back, started messing with some things, didn't know what I was doing. But I actually had the patience to just learn, and I just caught on. I didn't really watch any videos or anything. It was just I was hearing things, and and over time it just grew. And I think at the point when I met you was at a turning point because I was just getting out of a relationship. I was actually sitting in my ex's parking lot when I filled out your application. I was like, do I book the call? I was like, no, I'm booking the call. Because I think it was like a week or two later that I actually did it.
Yeah.
When you first initially reached out, and I was like, no, this is a turning point. Like, you got to take this serious now. You got to make a living off of doing this because you can do it. And it just immediately clicked. I kept seeing your post. I don't know. You just had something different than anybody else that's hit me up. And I just had a trust for you from the jump. And then
why do you think that is, man?
I really don't know what it is. I mean, I got the sense that you really cared. I got the sense that you knew what you were doing. And I'm big into the universe sending you signs. So it was like I kept seeing your posts. And you just kept popping up. And some of the videos, you just... It's like,
won't go away.
Why won't this guy go away? I was like, get out of here,
Yeah.
And I think I told you before, the first post I saw from you was a compression post.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand compression at the time. And then that led to me. I don't even know if it was I that reached out to you or you that reached out to me. But like we got connected and then boom, the phone call happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was basically my situation before. I was uploading beats to BeatStars and nothing was really happening. I was running promos. It was kind of just scattered brain. I didn't really have no business. I mean, coming from being an artist before, like I was so egotistical that I didn't even know the business side to being an artist. But at this point, I was like, you got to understand the business side of things. So I took a bigger risk in music production than I did in my whole 11 years of rapping. So it was like, I believe in this more at that point. I got to get the business right. I could really see myself making a living off of this. And yeah, that's how it happened.
Oh yeah, man. Well, what are some of the biggest things that you learned in this program?
Of course, music theory is one of them. Like I was talking about in the music, arranging, all the different things when it comes to actually producing the music, but also communication skills when it comes to talking to artists and being able to really embrace some of the rejection in it, because a lot of people say no. So that was a big thing I learned in the program and doing some of the things that you taught. That's some of the biggest things, just, communicating with artists, building a rapport with artists. Yeah, when it came to the LLC and the business side of things, it definitely helped because it got me into it and I wanted to learn more about it because I knew that I needed it in the first place. I just didn't really understand it.
Yeah.
And, when you don't understand something at first, you kind of just shy away from it. You can't really understand something until you want to understand it, I feel like. Yeah, business was a big part of it. It really was a stepping stone because it was like, oh shit, I have an LLC now. Like there's days like that where I'm like, dude, like you operate a business.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me 5 years ago if I was going to be taking this route, I would have just laughed in your face. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But yeah, here we are.
Cool, man. Well, how has the program like changed your life or impacted your life if it has?
It's impacted it a lot because it's just made me get even more serious than what I already was, just about everything. And that goes back to everything that I was just telling you about, like the music side of things, the production, the business, communicating with artists, all of that. It's just impacted everything because every day is just a day to pursue that success that you're shooting for, And it's good to have like-minded people around too in the program because people in your life that aren't doing it, they won't necessarily understand it as well as people that are actually on the same path as you. So it's difficult to really connect with those people on certain things because they're not doing it.
Right.
So it's good to have like-minded people like you and everybody else in the program to talk to about things because it's like, okay, we're all on this boat together, So that's definitely made a huge impact because it's like you don't feel isolated on an island.
Well, why would you go with this program if there's so many of them out there?
The reason I would go with this program is because I feel like you truly genuinely care and I have trust in you and you haven't steered me wrong yet through the step-by-step process of making this happen. Yeah, other people might deliver results too, but I definitely got trust in you. I think that's a big thing.
What about like the different business models that we teach to like high ticket versus like selling on BeatStars? Like, what are your thoughts there?
I haven't had an artist produce to a beat that I gave to him for free yet. So with that said, I don't think artists truly value free beats or anything that they don't have to pay much for. So that's why I think high ticket it is the way to go because if you're investing that much into it, you're going to truly value it and cherish it dearly. And it's going to bring out the best in you as an artist. And it's going to bring out the best in me as the producer versus me just dishing you out a $20 recycled beat or sending you a free beat for you to do something to and nothing ever comes out of it. Yeah, that's why I think high ticket is the way to go.
And the fact that you get on a call, you learn sales skills and you do sales calls, how do you feel like that affects like the process? Like, do you feel like the relationship is closer with your clientele or like, how does that affect you?
Yeah, I do because I feel like I do get closer with the client and, they let me know in detail about what they want in their music, what they want in their career. And it's just this bond that you gain through communication. And, sometimes it gets to a point where you actually just feel like you're hanging out with the person sometimes. So yeah, I definitely think it helps heighten the relationship and it definitely lets them know that I truly care about what they do. And I truly care about what I do because I'm sitting here on the phone with you, diving deep into potential issues that you may be facing, thinking about ways that I might be able to help or might not be able to help because, I care about your career as an artist and I care about my career as an artist. We're potentially going to be two people involved in this thing.
Do you think you'd be able to close like $1,000 high ticket beats without learning these sales skills?
I would have no idea where to start. I'd be losing my mind on the phone calls. Going through the program with the high ticket sales, it laid out like a blueprint. I think over time you kind of learn how to put your own spin on things. Of course, there's still certain fundamental things. It's similar to basketball. You got to dribble, you got to play defense, you got to do this. But over time, you can learn how to, okay, I could do the fadeaway, the spin move, things like this. But of course, the fundamentals of it are still there. But with that said, there's no way I would fall flat on my face every single time. And not only fall flat on my face every single time, I wouldn't know how to bounce back or know what I might have did wrong in the call. Mm-hmm. Having that blueprint there lets me know at certain points it's like, this is where they got me. This is where it happened.
Well, what would you say to someone who like wants the results from something like this program, but they're like afraid to invest into the program? program.
Are you willing to live with that regret for the rest of your life if it's something that you truly want to do and it's something that you truly believe that you can accomplish? I mean, I feel like you got to ask yourself, is it something that in 10, 20 years, it's not even going to be in the back of your mind? Or is it something that you know in 10, 20 years, it's going to still be there and you're going to be like, what if?
So kind of
And
like the cost of inaction.
yeah, regardless of what your answer to that should be the turning point for you to make it happen and want to invest. People invest in what they want to invest in.
Mhm.
They'll find a way
Yeah.
if they want to.
Right.
So I think you just got to ask yourself that.
Absolutely, man. What would you say to someone who's like afraid to get scammed? Because there's obviously like tons of people out here in the internet. A lot of people are genuine, but there's also a lot of people that are like scammers. You know what I mean?
You're gonna get scammed one time or the other, and it's up to you to build that intuition of knowing like this is going down the same road that the last scammer did, and just knowing, just reading the energy and knowing who to potentially trust and who you just get that gut feeling sometimes that, oh, okay, this is red flag, this is red flag territory. But it's up to you to be able to pinpoint that once you get scammed the first one time, two times, and if you don't, after like the second or third time, it's like, this is kind of on you at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I do feel like there's genuine people out there, but it's like, okay, sometimes you just got to read the energy. Like you've seen this red flag before. So why would you just walk into the red flag again and think, okay, this might be different.
Right.
But if it's somebody that you really feel, there's no red flags and you feel like it's someone that you genuinely could trust and you feel like there is great communication there and this person's trustworthy, don't project your fear of being scammed onto them, like give them a chance. It could change your life.